There's a quiet conversation women are having in group chats and hair salons with their best friends over wine that their husbands and boyfriends are not part of. It goes like this: he's a great guy, I love him, but the sex is just okay. And I've stopped saying anything because nothing changes. Studies on modern female sexual satisfaction put that number somewhere around 7 or 8 women out of 10. 70 to 80% of women in long-term relationships are quietly accepting okay. That gap between okay and the best she's ever had is not closed with more effort, more love, or more years. It's closed with a specific system. For the next 35 minutes, I'm going to hand you the entire system I've been teaching for a decade. At the end, you're going to know exactly why most men stay in okay and exactly what to do to become on purpose, not by accident. The reference point she'll compare every other man to for the rest of her life. Like always, I can't guarantee your results. I'm the person who built the system, so of course I believe in it. What I can guarantee is that everything I'm going to show you is the same exact structure that thousands of my students from 25 to 70 years old used to get a partner who started begging instead of tolerating, reaching instead of waiting, and craving instead of accommodating. By the end of this video, you'll have the 5-part female pleasure system and why 99% of men only touch 1 or 2 of those parts. The specific reason okay sex never becomes great with effort alone. A verbal walkthrough of the entire blueprint so you could, in theory, try to run it yourself. And a bonus I reveal at the end, the one thing that actually separates good lover from the best she's ever had. For the new viewers, I'm Arica Angelo. I've spent the last decade translating what women feel into what men can actually do. I work with men who are 25 and starting out. I work with men who are 65 and on their second marriage. The common thread is simple. They wanted the truth from a woman instead of the noise from the internet. Let me show you what the students of the full system report, because one skill alone doesn't do it. Brian, married 17 years. Oh my God, I've put into practice some of your directions and it has unlocked her. She is responding exactly as described. Adam on his second marriage after 25 years. I called my new wife bragging to her friends saying, I'm the best that she's ever had. Rhodey said, I had a woman look me dead in the face during a finger session and say, you know how to touch me. I was harder than a diamond. These are not good lovers. These are men who built a system. That's the gap. That is what today's video is about. Here's the part that once you see it, you can't unsee. Female pleasure is not a single button. It's a system with 5 components, and it works like a chain. She's only as turned on as the weakest link. You can be elite at one thing, and the chain still breaks at the weakest link. Link 1, anticipation, what happens in her head the hours before. Most men skip this entirely, and the link 2 is approach. The first 90 seconds of physical contact. This is where most men lose her without realizing it. Link 3, the tongue. Oral technique with 4-step framework, critical, but not sufficient alone. Link 4, hands. Fingering correctly done is the single most underrated skill in male sexuality. Most men think they do this well. Most men do not. Link 5 is release, the squirting response, the full body orgasm, the aftercare hold. Most men never even attempt this because they don't know it's possible. Look at that chain. Now ask yourself, how many of those 5 do you actually know on demand how to execute? If you're honest, it's probably 1 or 2. That's why okay stays okay. That's why effort alone doesn't move the needle. You can't effort your way out of a broken chain. You have to build the missing links. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The thing that separates the best she's ever had from he's great is not one of these links done brilliantly. It's all 5 done competently. The system wins every single time. Let's kill the usual paths before we go to the answer. Option A, one trick learning technique. Learn a simple technique, apply it. Doesn't work. The chain is still broken elsewhere. She'll appreciate the new move for 2 weeks, then she regresses. Option B, generic sex ed courses. Too broad, too theoretical, too squeamish. They dance around the specifics you actually need. You can't build the approach link from a diagram. Option C is toys and novelty. Novelty spikes arousal short term, but never rebuilds the system. She'll use the toy, she still won't crave you. Option D, ask her directly. This is the one that destroys most men. Women, for the most part, can't verbalize what works. They can only react when you do it. This isn't their fault. The language doesn't exist in her head in the form you need. You need a woman who will show you on camera every link of the chain. Option E, figure it out with time. Some men do over 10 to 20 years of paying attention. Most men don't, because most men never get the feedback loop. By the time she tells you she's unsatisfied, it's usually too late. Every one of these paths leave at least 2 links of the chain broken. You need the full system. Here's how I teach it. 5 short focused trainings, 1 for each link of the chain. Together, they form what I call the oral obsession blueprint. 1, tongue magic, the oral mastery module, the 4-step framework, forbidden approach, rhythm, switch, pressure, ladder, the hold. This alone is what most men know me for. Inside the bundle, you'll get the full tongue magic course, the $69 product on its own. 2, fingering her into ecstasy, the hands module. This is a link every man thinks he's good at, 95% are not. Comment from Rhodey. She looked me dead in the face and said, "You know how to touch me." That came after this module. You learned the 3-stage technique, exactly where to touch, how to move, what tempo, with clear visual demonstration. 3, the squirting experience. The release module. Most men think squirting is either fake or impossible. Wrong. It's a natural release response. Anatomical, predictable, available in the vast majority of women when approached correctly. This module takes you through the anatomy, the technique, and the emotional safety she needs to let go. No porn, no tricks, real biology, real guidance. For how she wants it, the truth module. This is an unfiltered panel conversation. Me and 2 close friends having the conversation she will not have with you. Do's, don't. Please stop doing that. The stuff you've been wanting someone to just say out loud. And 5, safe and sexy pre-play guide. The anticipation approach module, the part no one teaches, how to prepare, how to set the room, how to land the first 90 seconds so her body is already open before you've done anything. This is where anticipation is built. The link most men skip completely. 5 modules, 5 links, 1 complete chain. That's the system that closes the gap between okay and the best she's ever had. Not one magic trick, the architecture. Let me be specific. Brian, 17 years married, thought he knew his wife sexually. Ran the full blueprint over about 8 weeks. His exact words, "It has unlocked her. Our sex life was on a different planet now." That's not a trick. That's a system rebuild. The most common objection I hear, "I don't have time to learn 5 courses." Here's the reality. Each module is 45 to 90 minutes. That's a weekend. 1 weekend of learning for a decade of better intimacy. The ROI on this is not close. Second objection, "My partner's guarded, closed jaw, her libido is so low." That's exact reason you need the full chain. Her guardedness is always evidence of a broken link, usually link 1 or link 2. Rebuild those and the whole chain reactivates. 2 paths from here. Path 1, stay in, okay. I don't say this to scare you. I say this because it's what statistically happens. Most men in this position assume that effort over time will gradually close the gap. It doesn't. The gap widens quietly until it becomes a resentment. Path 2, rebuild the chain. Give yourself a weekend. Walk the 5 modules. Come out the other side with a skill stack that fundamentally changes the dynamic in your bedroom and by extension in your entire relationship. The Oral Obsession Bundle, all 5 modules, lifetime access. Normally these courses add up to $565 individually. Because you watched this video with me to this point, the link in the description gets you the full bundle for $247. One time, not a subscription. Listen, this system works. I'm confident enough that you can implement this if you just take the time. Is this discreet? Yes. It's delivered to your email, no shipping, no box. Nobody sees anything. What if I'm much older? The majority of our biggest success stories are men in their 50s and 60s. Experienced system is the most dangerous combination in the bedroom. What if I already own tongue magic? You're getting 4 other modules that individually go for more than the price of this whole bundle. You're overpaying not to have the full chain. What if she finds out I bought a course? Most men eventually tell their partner, and it is almost always received as deeply romantic. A man who cared enough to learn is rare. Recap. Female pleasure is a 5-link chain. Most men touch 1 or 2 links, which is why effort alone never closes the gap. The Oral Obsession Blueprint gives you all 5 tongue, hands, release, truth from women, and the anticipation approach. 1 weekend of learning, a lifetime of being the reference point. Click the first link in the description. It opens the private page. Lifetime access, $247 one time. Now or never. It's not a pressure tactic. It's a simple fact that the memory her body holds of the next 30 days is being written, whether you participate in it or not. The bonus I promised at the top, the one thing that truly separates good lovers from the best she's ever had, it's inside link 2, fingering her into ecstasy. It's the aftercare hold combined with eye contact during her release. That specific moment is what she actually remembers in 20 years. Every woman who has experienced it describes it almost word for word the same way. That's what you're building toward.